Remember when using a calculator in the office was a flex? This morning, NVIDIA CEO just told the world that if you aren't using Agentic AI to do your job by lunchtime, you're not just old school, you're an operational liability. Jensen Huang has essentially issued a pink slip to the concept of the manual prompter. If you're still treating ChatGPT like a search engine or a fancy thesaurus, you've already missed the bus to the next industrial revolution. Moving on to our lead story. NVIDIA has officially reported a staggering revenue of $30 billion in its most recent fiscal quarter, a 262% increase year over year. This isn't just about hardware, it's about the fundamental shift toward what Jensen calls the era of AI agents. In a recent keynote, Huang emphasized that we are moving from software that we use to software that works for us. Turning our attention to the mechanics of this shift, NVIDIA's introduction of NIM, NVIDIA Inference Microservices, is the key. NIMs are essentially AI in a box that allow businesses to deploy custom models in minutes rather than months. For the urban professional in Mumbai or London, this means the bottleneck is no longer the processing power of the GPU, but the ability of the human to coordinate these digital. In other news, the partnership between NVIDIA and major Indian conglomerates like Reliance and the Tata Group is accelerating. These entities are building massive AI supercomputing infrastructures on Indian soil. The goal? To move India from the world's back office to the world's AI factory. This isn't just a corporate headline. It is a structural realignment of how high-skilled labor will be priced in the next 24 months. If your value proposition is, "I can summarize this PDF," your market value is effectively trending towards zero. Continuing with the technical analysis, we need to distinguish between generative AI and agentic AI. While generative AI creates content, agentic AI executes workflows. Jensen Huang notes that future AI won't just suggest a travel itinerary. It will book the flights, handle the cancellations, and file the expense report without human intervention. This chain of thought reasoning is the hallmark of the Blackwell chip architecture, which offers 25 times less cost and energy consumption compared to its predecessor, making these autonomous agents economically viable for even small-scale firms. In another significant development, Microsoft and Salesforce have entered a war of the agents. Both companies have pivoted their entire enterprise suites to focus on autonomous workers. For the middle manager, this is a wake-up call. The global Indian professional, who has long thrived on being the bridge between data and decision, is now facing a reality where the bridge is self-constructing. The satirical irony here is palpable. For years, we joked about robots taking factory jobs, but it turns out the robots are coming for the person who spends 6 hours a day in spreadsheets and quarterly reviews. Moving to the impact on global markets, the agentic economy is predicted to add trillions to global GDP, yet the individual professional is lagging. Huang's critique of manual prompting is simple. A prompt is a command, but an agent is a colleague. If you are still obsessing over the perfect system prompt instead of building a multi-agent workflow, you are effectively the office clerk who insisted on using a fountain pen while everyone else moved to the typewriter. To understand the how behind this, we look at physical AI. NVIDIA is pushing the boundaries beyond digital screens into robotics through their Project GROOT. This signifies that the agents we use in our software will soon inhabit physical forms in our logistics and manufacturing hubs. The distinction between white-collar and blue-collar AI is blurring into a single, unified layer of autonomous intelligence. Turning finally to the professional survival guide in this new regime, the shift requires moving from being a doer to being an orchestrator. In the Indian professional context, where the hierarchy has historically been rigid, agentic AI democratizes the ability to execute. You no longer need a team of 10 to launch a product. You need one person who can manage 10 agents. The bottleneck is your imagination and your ability to define clear objectives. Jensen Huang's message is clear. The AI isn't going to replace you, but the person who knows how to deploy a swarm of agents while you're still typing, "Please write a professional email," certainly will. This is the new baseline of professional competence. If you aren't an architect of agents by the end of this fiscal year, you are merely a spectator in your own career.